Welcome to some basic coding, guys. We are going to start with CodeCombat levels 1 through 8 today. So first things first, I don't want you to go beyond level 8 today. We're going to stop there just so I have a chance to go over things for the next section. So level 8, 1 through 8 has some vocab. First is syntax. Syntax is the order and the punctuation and spelling how you use in your code you write. So just like when we speak, we have a certain pattern we speak in. We say where, who or what first, and then what you're doing. On computers, you have to type it in the way the computer is programmed to look for it. So for example, if you type it in and you put the words out of order, the computer won't know what to do because it only knows how to recognize the commands that it knows. So it'll only do exactly what you tell it to do. It can't figure it out, it can't guess. Next one is sequence for vocab. Your sequence is the order that you put your commands in. They have to be written in the order that you want the computer to do them in. So if you want your character to move right and then move left, you have to tell it move right, and then you have to tell it move left. You can't go in a different order because it only works in the order that you give the commands in. Lastly, for this time, we're doing objects and methods. Objects are the building blocks of Python. They are the things or characters that perform actions. So in the game, your hero is an object. The different villains are objects. What the objects do is called its method. So if I'm telling it to move right is a method, and it's got those parentheses after it because sometimes you add some extra info. So object is the actual things. Methods are what they do. All right, so in this sentence where it says hero dot move right, hero is my object, that's the thing we're moving, and move right is the method, that's how it's moving. You have to have the period, you have to have the parentheses, you have to have the capitalization so that the computer understands what you're doing. A period separates the object from a method. You can't put in spaces. It's like a space for these. Capital letters show the start of a new word when you don't have a space. So because we're not putting a space between move and right, that R being capital shows that that's two separate words. Parentheses are a place where we add extra things called arguments, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, and you'll look at in CodeCombat here in a second. All right, so for example, I'm going to shrink this down so they can type on it. If I want to take my little character, if I'm going to take myself, my little Bitmoji from down here at the bottom of the maze and get myself out to the top, I would type in Jones dot move right. Okay. Then I would do Jones dot, oops. So that puts me here. Okay. Dot move. Oh, I really want to use spaces. I'm so used to spaces. Up. That moves me up here. Then we continue. Jones dot move right. And that will continue to make me move through the maze. If I really wanted to get crazy, I could go all the way through. I don't really want to do all of that, but you kind of get the idea. And that's basically what you're going to be doing on CodeCombat is that movement kind of thing for now. You're going to move your character through some different obstacles to try to get them to their goal, their end goal. All right, so when you get into CodeCombat, there's a space over here on the right for you to write your code, okay? You're going to get to pick your hero. Okay, you're going to write your code in this space. You're going to press run once you're happy with your code, and then you're going to watch your hero or your character move. All right. If you get stuck, you can hover your mouse over the different methods, over the different commands, and it'll give you some clues on how to use it. If you get super stuck, you can click on hints. You can also clear it and restart it. And then at the end of the level, if you've met whatever the goals up here are, you can move on to the next level. All right, so let's think really quickly about a couple of things. Why do we have to have things in the correct sequence and syntax? We're working with a computer. Computers are very smart, but they're machines. They do exactly what we program them and tell them to do. So if you don't tell them the correct sequence, it's not going to turn out right. It's going to go wrong. If you don't type your things in correctly and have the right syntax, it doesn't know how to read it at all. So if I skipped a period or I skipped a capital letter, which seems really small, the computer won't know what to do with it and it won't do anything. It just won't. It won't know what to do. So it's really important that you're clicking through, you're reading it, and you're doing exactly what you want it to do. You're telling it exactly in order, in sequence, what you want it to do with the language that it understands. So the way a computer reads it reads instructions differently from the way a human reads them, is that we have the capacity to think about things and figure it out using what we know. So if you're missing a direction, you could probably go back and figure out using what you know to figure it out. Computers can't do that. They can only do exactly what you tell them to do. So again, if you miss a step, it's not going to stop and be like, I wonder what I should do next. It's just going to stop, or it's just going to get stuck. So you need to make sure that you're paying attention, you're hitting every single little piece. I am going to attach or leave the Python syntax guide in here for you. So you want to make sure that you're using the dot. You want to make sure you have the parentheses, even if it's empty. And then there's some other things you want to make sure you do. That's a little bit more complicated. So after we've done through that, you want to go ahead and play through levels 1 through 8. So I'm going to show you really quickly what that's going to look like. I'm going to sign in. You're going to go ahead and sign in as a student. You should be linked through Google Classroom. So if you're clicking the link through Google Classroom, it'll take you straight in. We won't have to do that. But you're going to go ahead and start on the level 1. It shows you right here what you need to do. And I need to avoid the spikes and collect the gem. All right, so this is telling me I need to type a move down command on line 6. So I'm not going to just type in move down, though. I have to use one of the commands it shows in the method. And I like this because I don't have to type the whole thing. It does exactly what I want it to do. It gives me some choices. All right, so I've done move right. I've done move down. Now I need to do another move right. And I've collected the gem. And I'm done. So I'm done with my first level. Again, you are going to play through and be finished at level 8. Once you get through level 8, it is very important that you do your exit ticket. It is in Google Classroom. It looks kind of like, sorry, that was teacher mode. Looks like this. It says lessons 1 through 8 exit ticket. This is part of how I'm collecting your grade. You get half your points for completing the levels and half of your points from the actual exit ticket. So you're going to explain how to play CodeCombat to someone who's never played before and try to use some of those vocab words. So you're going to try to use the words syntax, sequence, object, and methods. And I want to fix that because that looked weird. Okay. All right. What's the difference between an object and a method? That's on these slides. How can you tell if you've made a mistake? How do you fix it? And how do comments work and what are they for? Comments will come up probably, I think it's level 6 or 7. So make sure when you get there, you're looking for how they explain comments. Once you're done with that, you're going to submit the Google form. You've already played through level 8, so you should be good to go. And you are good for today's lesson. If you need help with it, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you. Good luck.